So how can you quickly get to level 80 in the Cataclysm pre-patch? Well, there's many different things you can do, and these I'll share with you today in this guide. So the first thing you need to make sure you start doing is to pay attention to nearby rare enemies. Rare enemies will now give you a lot of experience, most likely equal to what you can get by completing 1 or 2 quests. To detect these enemies a lot easier, you could also be using a rare scanning add-on. The one that I'm using I'll explain more about later in the guide, as it will also do a lot of other things that will help you level up a lot quicker. Because the world is going to be revamped from 1 to 60, then there's going to be implemented a lot of new quests and done many changes to leveling with questing, so it can definitely be fun. However, you should also remember that by the time you reach level 15, you can start doing random dungeons, and if you can sign as a tank or a healer, you're going to get into the dungeons a lot quicker compared to signing as a DPS. What I plan to do myself is at least to sign up for 1 of each dungeons. This is because when you do these dungeons, you can now also pick up the quest at the beginning of the dungeon, so you don't have to go to the open world or do pre-quest in order to acquire these. This is going to be a massive change and something I'm looking forward to myself. The main reason why I try to focus on doing 1 of each dungeons is to complete all the dungeon quests so I get additional experience, and then whenever I'm not doing a dungeon, I'll continue to level in the open world to try the new quests. What I also plan to do is to pick up the 2 gather professions, herbalism and mining. These 2 should grant you experience whenever you loot something, so it's a great way to get a bit of additional experience as you're questing, but also to make gold and get experience at the same time. This gold you could then use for your epic flying mount or something else that will be important when you're going to level up in Cataclysm. By the time you get to Outland, and if you're level 65, remember to also head to Nagrand and do the Ring of Blood. This is going to be a huge quest chain that rewards you a lot of experience and even a blue weapon at the end. And by the time you reach level 75 in Northrend, head to Drak and do the arena quest chain here. This will also grant you a lot of experience, some potions, a lot of gold, yeah, even a blue weapon at the end. In a moment I'll share a lot more leveling tips and tricks, but first there's something else I would also like to highlight that will increase your leveling speed. What I'm talking about is this Cataclysm leveling guide that will work from 1 to 85. There's a free version you can test out, and this will work for the 2 new races, Goblin and Worgen as well, so you can see if you like it or not. It comes with a lot of nice features, for example the rare scanner that I talked about earlier. It will also guide you through the best possible leveling route to reach level 85 as quickly as possible. And by following the guide, you will definitely also reach level 80 on your newly created characters in the pre-patch, so you're ready to enjoy Cataclysm when it's being released. So why is it that I prefer this leveling add-on? Well, it's constantly being updated, and what I like a lot is that it's being developed by the best speed levelers in World of Warcraft, people who have beaten many world records when it comes to speed leveling. It's quite easy to follow. There's an arrow you can either use, well, you can also use your map, where it will be displayed with different numbers indicating where you'll need to move next, and of course the add-on itself to the left that will guide you through the different steps. The good thing is that if you, for example, install this at level 32, 35 or something else, well, then it will automatically detect what quest you have already done, so you can just continue to use the guide, even though it's the first time you install it. Like you can see right here, on this Death Knight I just installed the add-on and swapped to Hellfire, and all of a sudden it tells me I've done many different quests and I can continue from step 16. And no, it's not like you have to follow every single step. You can easily do dungeons for a couple of levels and then get back to the guide, but now you just swap to the level you're currently at and what level they would recommend you to go to each individual zone. If you would like to get the full version, make sure to use the link below the video. This is also where you get the free version, and before you purchase the full version, make sure to apply the discount code GuideMMO. Another thing I might do is to sign up for Battlegrounds during the weekend. Here we will have the weekly battleground. For example, at May 10th it's going to be Warsen Gulch, and at May 17th it's going to be a Arathi Basing. During the weekends you're going to get more honor and more experience. And honor will be important as you can use this as you're leveling up, but also at level 80, yeah, even at level 85 in Cataclysm. There's a level 60 set you can purchase for next to no honor. As an alliance you can purchase this in Stormwind City, and as a horde player in Orgrimmar. There is also some decent level 60 weapons you could purchase to increase your leveling speed, and what I usually do myself is to enchant these with Wrath of the Lich King enchants. This way I can use them for the next 8 levels until I hit Northrend content. But the main reason why you would also like to do Battlegrounds is because with your honor you can get yourself Heirloom shoulders to increase the experience you gain by 10%, and of course also an Heirloom weapon, but the shoulders is your main priority if you don't have any Heirloom items right now. By the time you reach level 71, you should also head into Winter Grasp every 3 hours, at least if you're lacking honor, because in here you can get a ton of honor in next to no time. This honor you could then spend at level 70 PvP gear, the brutal gladiator items. They have sockets, yeah, also decent stats, and because of the sockets then you could enchant this gear and also put in sockets from Wrath of the Lich King. This way the gear will last all the way up to level 80. I know it can be a bit expensive to enchant every single item and also use epic gems, but then again, it will increase your leveling speed by probably twice as fast. There's an easy way to get fast honor, at least if you watch my Cataclysm preparation video. In there I mentioned the Winter Grasp commendations, an item you can send between all your characters on the account to get some quick honor. In the pre-patch you should no longer be able to purchase the commendations, however if you had any on your characters before the pre-patch you should also be able to continue sending them to, for example, your new Worgen or Goblin. This should be working unless Blizzard decides to do a change and remove these from every single character in the game. The last reason why you should also focus on honor is because by the time you reach level 80 you can use this to purchase Wrathful gear. This will no longer require any raiding or arena points. Even though this is PvP gear, then because of the gems and the high item level you can easily use this when you have to gear up into pre-patch, so when you're doing heroics or maybe even raids. In fact, you might be able to continue using these when you're leveling in Cataclysm, and you will probably start replacing them at around level 82 with rare quest rewards. I will also be using swim speed potions when I'm doing quests in water environment, and there's going to be a lot more of this in Cataclysm. On top of this, swiftness potions is also quite handy when you're, for example, at a location where you can't even use your mount. It could also be in a dungeon. And talking about dungeons, if you have a pre-made group, then all of you could be using invisibility potions to skip different parts of a dungeon, simply to clear it or well get to the final boss a lot quicker to get the dungeon reward. Another consumable that you might find useful is different flask. You can purchase some at level 75, 65 and even at level 50. And these will work for 1 hour and increase your character's performance by a high amount. Hopefully you have already watched my preparation video. If so, then you have most likely also purchased your Heirloom items in Wrath of the Lich King, because in the pre-patch these will be a lot more difficult to obtain or will require a lot more time to purchase. So if you're watching this video before the pre-patch, well then remember to use your emblems and purchase the different Heirloom items. I just purchased these on my old characters where I don't even need the emblems. So why is it that you should purchase these right now? Well, once the pre-patch goes live, all emblems will be removed. Emblems of Trust and Triumph will most likely be turned into the new currency Justice Points, and you will need a lot of Justice Points in order to purchase Heirloom items. Therefore, I would highly recommend you to purchase them now. There are still a few preparations I need to take care of before the release of Cataclysm, and all my preparations you can simply find in my Cataclysm preparation video that you find on my channel or in the description below this one. Soon I'll also publish a lot more useful guides, so if you would like to see those, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace!